because while we were away, we did have Saturday night's main event, and after Saturday night's main event, this group picture was taken. As you can see, it's Jay Cargill, CM Punk, Ricky Saints, and Cody Rhodes, all former AEW talents. And after this picture, Mercedes Moné, she commented, AEW is everywhere. And that got the internet talking about how WWE has put the titles on these AEW stars. And so
I mean, it's just such a stupid take when two of them are former WWE champions.
I know. Like, you'll see where I'm going. But with these four, and there's more.
And it's cool because, like, obviously, like, they're all friendly, but, like, Cody, Jade, and Ricky are, like, really, really, really close friends.
Yeah, they are. They 100%. But that got me thinking, because it's not just these four in this picture. There are others that are flourishing.
NXT.
They're flourishing in NXT. So, do you think that AEW's losses have become WWE's gains? Because a lot of these guys, they were afterthoughts in AEW, and I think, except maybe one, I prefer the AEW run over WWE. So, what are your thoughts on these four?
And again, there's one of them that you prefer their AEW run, and everyone else you don't?
Yeah, I think Jade's AEW run up to this point has been better than her WWE run. Because, like I said, I've said this to you numerous times. That woman is not no babyface.
She's I think, in farther down the line, I think she'll, better than a lot of women, will be able to do both. Because the only thing arguably that didn't really work for her is maybe because she's still a little green, but, and then she had an injury. But overall, I think it already, and again, probably too soon to tell. I mean, she had like a 51-second promo on SmackDown since she's turned heel and won the championship. But we're now getting her as a heel. We've had her for about 2 years as a face, 2-time tag team champion, now the WWE Women's Champion. I mean, so accolades there. And like the majority, if not the entire time in AEW, she was champion. So, yes, very different. I don't want to knock her AEW run, but I think it's definitely is too soon to hate on it. I'd almost argue, and again, I feel like it's too soon. In a way, I almost liked Ricky Starks more than Saints.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, again, just because maybe he's just better at being a heel. He was a heel the whole time in AEW, and maybe just him as a babyface, like, cool, maybe he'll be able to do both. But I really wish, in AEW didn't do it, I really wish he could just, especially with the WWE budget, he needs to do the promos he did on the Indies and in NWA. Like Miami Vice-esque, make these, like, he made home video promos, and they were gold. That's how I became a fan of him before he answered Cody's TNT Open Challenge. But, yeah, there's still a big upside for him. There's still more he can do. Ethan Page, his run's been better, but it's been because he's been winning. And obviously, two championship reigns already, currently arguably, 3 championship reigns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
and then 4 title. He's double champ right now.
Yeah, double. That's what I meant. So, yeah, 3 reigns. The one, the AAA, the NXT.
Well, he did win the North American twice.
Oh, he did? Oh, shit.
Yeah, because he beat Ricky. He got it back from Ricky Saints.
Got it. Yeah, so, all right, yeah, he's definitely 4 championships. I mean, how can you knock that? Yeah. And in barely a year flat, just over a year.
Over a year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, but for what it's worth, yeah, they are AEW's loss, WWE's gain. But at the same time, devil's advocate, if they probably wouldn't be given this opportunity if they weren't in AEW and didn't do what they did there. Obviously, Cody wouldn't be a 2-time WWE champion right now if he didn't go leave the company, go start AEW, and blah, 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 rest is history.
Yeah, because also this goes back to gambling. There's a term, and there's a term. It's called "if it ain't broke, don't fix it." So a lot of these AEW guys, like I said, their AEW's lost become WWE's gains. Jade Cargill, she was in the system with WWE prior to signing with AEW. Ricky Saints was as well. But they saw what the presentation was over there, and they essentially brought that presentation over to the WWE. Now, like I said, Ethan Page, light years ahead. I'm not we talk about this all the time. When you're like the world champion, it's like, all right, I don't care for you, but when you come back down to earth and come back to like the IC or the mid card section, I love you. So is NXT title run one of the biggest fan? This North American Championship run, and now that he got Chelsea Green with him, fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. And I agree with that. The one thing, and I think that was great for him with that NXT title reign, is the fact of how damn fast he did it. His first or second match, and just the way it was all presented, that was good. That was,
yeah.
I would argue he hasn't done a damn thing wrong. Also, before he first won the NXT North American title, I also loved him like downplaying. Like he's like, I already was that. Why do I want to go for that? And then, also the custom NXT championship strap. Actually, I was talking to a friend who's not a wrestling fan, but he watched it as a kid, and he follows Ethan Page's toy vlogs. And so like he has his his figure toy, his Jazzwares, and now his Mattel figures. And he was like, do you think they're going to do one with his Canadian belt? And I was like, dude, look, as much a fan you are, you should know he's in like a small handful. There's probably been like 20 WWE guys to get a custom belt. And then I was like, I think he's like one of 11 people. So that's even more shout out to him.
Yeah. Now the whole Jade thing, because like I was listening to her on an interview with the Wrestling Classic one time, and you can kind of tell that this is just my opinion from what I listened to was this is just it. The business is the business for her, and then like when she was in AEW and when she came to WWE, they kind of told her it's kind of like, kind of like give to the fans a little bit. Don't look at it just as the business is the business, So her AEW run, like they booked her as her, like she was dominant. She's always had the aura about it. She was a heel the entire time. Even when she came out with the women's title on SmackDown last week, she's like, yeah, I'm that bitch, et cetera. So that's a lot of her AEW stuff. Now the whole Bow Wow shit, you could be getting that shit. It was fun. I just wanted to see her destroy.
Shout out to Shaq.
That's just me. Even though Bow Wow is a legend. Bow Wow's a legend. But thank you.
Remember he used to review sneakers?
Tonight was open mic night, bitch.
Now, when it comes to Cody, it's like in AEW, Cody was pretty lost. I think we all agreed at that. We all agreed on that at some point in time that he was lost. I'm preferring Ricky Saints opposed to Ricky Starks. I can't wait for him to turn heel in NXT. And there's somebody else that we'll talk about in a couple of minutes. Rusev / Miro's like I didn't really need him back in WWE. And Malachi Black, we do have him back in WWE now, so we'll talk about him in a second. But Malachi Black, Aleister Black, he's going to get his shine, and Rusev was actually finally starting to get his shine since being back with WWE. So WWE, they're definitely taking the formula that AEW created with some of these guys, and some of these people are going to be their future stars and potentially world champions. Jade currently the world champion for the women, and